Well, we didn't eat for 3 days. Just water and sea salt. No coffee, no food, nothing. We didn't do it for a cleanse. We didn't do it for weight loss. We did it to get closer to God. Rob's here with me today, and we are going to tell you about what happened day by day, the struggle, the breakthrough, and the transformation. There are massive physical benefits to fasting. We're going to talk about those too. But we didn't do it for our bodies. We did it for our souls. Welcome to Beyond the Gray, the podcast about gray area drinking and how it impacts your health, relationships, purpose, and faith. This is where we have real conversations about the topics successful men over 50 don't usually talk about out loud. If you've built a great life but keep asking, is this it? You're not alone. When alcohol becomes your go-to off switch and your marriage, health, or purpose feel disconnected, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Kari Schwear, and this, my friend, is where the gray ends. Welcome back to Beyond the Gray. This is the podcast that addresses all gray areas and the tough conversations that are rarely spoken about out loud. So, Rob, let's talk about what we just did. Why did we decide to do a 3-day water fast?
Well, that's a good question.
It sounds crazy to a lot of people after we shared it. They're like, why would you do that?
Yeah. So this all started, Kari and I just celebrated 37 years together, married.
That was our wedding anniversary weekend. We went fasting.
And how long has it been since we did anything for our anniversary?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I was like, hey, why don't we go away for a weekend? We've not done anything. I'll take a day off from work. We'll do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And she said, yeah, that'd be great. We can get a cabin somewhere in the mountains, which we love the mountains. And we found this great spot in rural West Virginia. And I don't know how the conversation came up about fasting. How did we get there?
Well, I wanted to start fasting about 6 months ago, and I was really into it for my health. But I started realizing that fasting for my health is a great thing to do. However, because I am a Christian and I love reading the Bible and know more about the Word, it talks a lot about why we should fast. And so I decided to...
Well, she wanted to, right?
Yeah,
and somehow we got into that conversation. I've never fasted. Never. I've read about it in the Bible. I know friends who have done it. I know friends who have done it for 7 days, amazingly. And I'm like, okay, well, we need to do this. We need to try it. So that's how it came about. And I think it was a great exercise for both of us. In the spirit of we're being good disciples of God, right?
Yeah.
So I feel that, it was an experience that I won't soon forget, but the benefits were tremendous.
Yes. So after we decided, okay, we're going to do this, and actually I think I said I wanted to go to a cabin, but you said, let's do it over our anniversary weekend. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I have to say we found the perfect place. So if you are interested in knowing where you can go that is just so lovely and quaint, and you can take your dogs, it was in West Virginia. It was a lovely little space.
Fantastic.
And the environment there, the topography is unbelievable. So for me,
it truly is.
I really wanted to create a space where I could get closer to God and hear Him. And because I wanted to do this 6 months ago, I mean, I've been thinking about it for a while. And it's one of those things, if you've heard a previous episode where I talked about the trans-theoretical model of change, there's stages of change. And so one of them is, there's pre-contemplation and contemplation, and then preparation. So I moved into preparation stage back 6 months ago, and I'm like, yeah, I really think I want to do this. But then there was just, you have to make all the plans, have the time, have the space, have the right weekend. All the things have to line up. And this was the perfect opportunity. So we decided to pack up and go. And we left this past Friday. When we record this video, we're doing this on a Monday, and we ended our fast yesterday. So Friday we decided, okay, we're getting in the car. We had the Airbnb. We got,
But wait a minute, let's put a pin in that for a second before we get into that story. We also decided that we were going to try and do a no noise weekend. I think that's how it started. We did.
oh,
we just,
yeah, no. Yeah,
we
let's
didn't
start
want.
with that.
Yeah, we didn't want phones. We didn't want social media, computers, iPads, TV. None of that. Right. So that really plays a big part of this story, because if it all shut off tomorrow, how would you react? So we wanted to understand what that would feel like, because we're so connected and we're always texting and we're always emailing and we're always looking at something on the damn phone. So we wanted to do no noise as well. So, okay, sorry.
So we get in my car. We always take my car when we go on vacation or go away.
I affectionately call it the hoopty.
It's a nice car. But anyway,
The hoopty.
it's a nice car.
It's a hoopty.
So we pack up my car.
And the hoopty failed us.
And literally, you got to picture this now. We got the dog beds, we got the dog crates. First time we've taken the dogs anywhere.
Yep.
So we
Kind of a big
overpacked.
deal.
We overpacked. We only had one suitcase for us. The
We
rest
did good, but the dogs was like, it was half the car.
Yeah, it truly was.
Crazy.
So we load everything up. We strategically place it in. And I have an SUV, but it barely fit. So we got everything in there, shut the lid, get in the car. He goes to turn on the car because he always drives when we go. And dead. Well, it wasn't quite dead. It was flashing all sorts of things. And I was like, what in the world? And I thought, you know what? Here we go. So if you're a believer,
Tick, tick, click, click, whir.
that's pretty much what
It was like, this never did this before.
yeah. So if you're a believer, you know that we have an enemy. And right away, I'm like, okay, he's trying to mess with us, that we're not going to be able to go. Well, I got news for you, buddy. So we have his car. So we back out his car. We transfer everything from my car into Rob's car. And for whatever reason, it all fit better in his car.
It sure did.
We get in and we leave. So, okay, we just worry about my car later. We'll leave it in the driveway. Off we go.
So, and again, like a couple years back, whatever, we both would have lost our minds, right? We would have been so upset.
We would have been so mad.
We would have been, oh my God, what's this? Blah, blah, blah. What the blah, 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 blah. Just stupid, like getting mad with each other. But you know what?
We handled it so well. High five.
We did pretty good. Like there was none of that.
We were so calm and we were like.
And I'm just like, all right, we'll take in my car. Because we talked about, all right, let's call AAA. Maybe we don't have to leave right now. Like we are fasting. We haven't eaten yet, but let's do it. And she's like, nope. We're going to continue on with our plan.
Who cares about the car? Let's just roll. So
that's what we did.
So we
Changed
left.
Cars. Yep.
So the first day, it was great.
It was a 3.5 hour drive.
It was about 3.5 hours. Mm-hmm. And again, we had nothing to eat. So this was probably about 10:30 by the time we left. So 10:30 in the morning, you're not expected to be like super hungry anyway.
Well, by 10:30 though, I've had, probably 40 some ounces of coffee and 8 scrambled eggs. And, I like my protein. So 8 egg whites with a yolk, and I have something in my belly. Well, there's nothing in my belly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a problem.
So we're drinking lots of water.
Yep.
But about 2 hours in, I looked over at Rob and I said, are you all right? And he said, I'm just really getting tired. So why don't you share that real quick?
Yeah, I was very tired on the drive. Like, I was thinking to myself, oh boy, do I need to pull over and take a nap? That's how tired I was.
Yeah.
Because I was not, again, love coffee, and I've really controlled my caffeine intake recently. So I'm down to probably a big Yeti cup, and that's it. And I used to do a 24-ounce Wawa after that. So, probably 60 some ounces of coffee, and I'm still 30 and change, but better. But again, I could definitely tell the impact that had by not doing that. Now, 4 hours into my day driving, and I drive a lot, I was very tired. Yeah. So, yeah, something to be aware of.
Right. So we were both doing really well, and we said that. We had no hunger pains, or when you get super hungry and your stomach starts growling. Neither one of us experienced any of that. We were drinking lots of water. We put sea salt. We use Baja sea salt. I highly recommend it. It's very good. We just put a sprinkle in our water and off.
I was a little bit more hardcore than I was doing pinches in my mouth straight. And she's like, you shouldn't do that. I'm like, well, that's the way I roll.
They say about a teaspoon a day of salt is good when you're fasting. So about equivalent to that. We get to our Airbnb. It's everything I thought it was going to be. Super cute.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. Amazing. Amazing. Matter of fact, if I can figure out how, I will put B-roll and I'll show you some of our views on the video. It's really quite lovely there. And the best part was there's no food in the house. So we couldn't be tempted,
There's
right?
nothing.
There's nothing.
3 bottles of water and 3 seltzers I think she had in there, which was awesome. But then
It was perfect. We didn't want any food.
well, the
We
only
didn't
thing
want to
was
be tempted.
then they had a tray of s'mores there, right?
Oh, yeah, because they had a fire pit.
So for 3 days, I'm staring at these chocolate bars like, I wonder if Carrie will notice.
The
it's
Hershey
gone.
bars, the
Hershey
graham
bars,
crackers,
right?
and the
I
marshmallows.
mean,
like
how can
all
you
a
turn
hard
down,
no.
How can you turn down a Hershey bar? But I stuck to it. I didn't touch that darn Hershey bar. So, yeah.
So that first day, it was amazing. We really wanted to have a place and a space that would match the tone that we were looking for, which again, we were doing this for spiritual reasons. It was a spiritual discipline, and that's exactly what fasting is. And it's been practiced for thousands of years. I mean, Jesus fasted for 40 days, as Moses did, right? David fasted, Esther fasted. So many people in the Bible did. It's not new, but it's also not common.
Yeah.
It's not common in today's world, right? For the most part, a lot of people do fast, and there's a lot of health benefits, which we'll talk about. But what we wanted, you know, I really wanted to gain some clarity. I wanted massive breakthroughs. I wanted to hear God in a way that I hadn't in a long time. Some of that happened and some of it didn't, and we'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
For you, once we got there, how did you feel from that point on? Like, what was your mindset like, and your hunger, and maybe what surprised you?
No hunger. I had no hunger whatsoever. Zero. No hunger. That's
is really
that
odd,
shocked
right?
me because like today by noon I was hungry. So the only thing I could put that to is, you know, I'm busy, I'm working, I'm burning calories with brain power and talking and driving and doing all the things. But honestly, by noon, I had my normal breakfast today. Thank you, Lord. I needed to eat at noon. I ate at noon and I felt good. But the surprising thing was, yes, no hunger. Again, without the noise. You know what I found that was amazing about no noise? Was that time, I wasn't aware of time. And the day flew faster. But again, we napped the first day. I'm like, I've got to lay down. I've got to rest. And I didn't lay down. I just sat, propped my feet up, and I just rested. So that was something that we haven't done in a long time, was just rest.
It was
at
glorious.
peace and not have the noise. It was huge because time went so fast, and it kind of, I was like, oh, we're losing so much time. We're wasting so much time. But I also felt this overwhelming sensation and the Spirit telling me, you need it. You need this.
You know what's funny? I think a
You
lot
know?
of people would think you're going to be bored and be worried about that. Like, here we are. We didn't even turn the TV on. So no TV. We did have music. I brought my little
Yes.
boom box. Turns out they had one there. It was awesome.
It was awesome. It really
Yeah.
was.
So that was really cool. But what I also realized is that we're so habitualized with when we're going to eat. So yes, at the times we would normally eat 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever, there was that, oh, we should be eating now. And even though I did not experience any hunger pains, I did have that feeling of, I'm hungry. I could definitely eat, but
We should eat.
we were locked in. And that's the thing I really want to zone in here, is that we were locked into this decision that we're going to make it through. So that was one thing. And the other thing that we did was we did take the dogs for a nice walk, and they had
The
this,
property was beautiful.
we
Yeah.
sat on this porch. They had these little rocking chairs,
Yeah.
and we listened to worship music. And then later at night, we played a card game. And I talked about this in one episode that we did before we showed it to you. It's a conversational card game, and it's just questions to think about and answer and go through. And it always brings us closer together. Like, wow, I didn't realize that. Or, oh, did you feel
It's a
that
great
way?
game. It's a
Yeah.
great game. It's a great exercise.
And we
as a couple.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we prayed together.
Yep.
We journaled.
We did.
And we stayed
Well,
super.
Carrie journaled
Devoted.
more than I did. I think I journaled a half a page. I'm not a big fan. I used to be, and I'm going to get back into it, but I didn't do a lot of journaling, but I still got in the little blurb I wrote, I kind of got clarity. So yeah, that's good.
What else was interesting that I have found is that how much time we spend on meal prep and cleaning up and all that. And we didn't have any of that. So
No.
we actually had more time. But as Rob said, weird, that the days were speeding up so fast. I'm like, I can't believe it's 3 o'clock. I can't believe it's 5 o'clock. Even though we weren't eating, we both were in this zone of, wow, this is really cool.
Yep.
So by the end of day one, we were tired. Yeah. We were super fully committed and we went to bed early.
Yep.
And honestly, we slept like a rock that
Yes,
night. I
we
was
did.
shocked. I heard we might not be sleeping so well, and that wasn't the case
Well-
for us. So now it's day two. Rob, that was a little bit different on day two. Why don't you share a little bit of your experience and then I'll go.
It was still no hunger. Got up, drank 16 ounces of water, got my bearings about me, and we went and sat out on the porch. But again, I wasn't hungry. I was not thinking about it, but I knew I was committed to the process. I knew that I was not going to not do this. I was going to see it through no matter how bad it got. But again, I felt really good. I did not have any fear. I did not, oh, I got to eat a cheeseburger, or I need to have my egg sandwiches, because every Saturday morning I usually have egg sandwiches on homemade sourdough English muffins, which are just fantastic. But I didn't have that craving like I thought I would, because I'm a very routine-based guy. But it was very, how could I say, the thing that hit me on day two was that how much value we do put on food and the routine and the process and the romance of it. But the truth of the matter is your body doesn't truly need it. Your body needs to get spiritually fulfilled by God. And I think that's the thing that I took away starting on day two was, wow, I'm good. I can't believe how good I am. I can't believe how good I feel. It was definitely eye-opening. Because again, I've never fasted before. I've never pushed myself like that. I know people who have, cut weight for wrestling and, all these sports where they've done this. I watched my son prep for a bodybuilding show, which now I understand what he went through. But just not to eat and only have water, yeah, it's tough. And I encourage everyone to try it because it's amazing what you can do. It's amazing.
Okay, day two for me was a little bit different than it was for Rob. So I woke up great, had tons of clarity. I was energized. I felt amazing. Actually, it surprised me a little bit. I was thinking it was going to be a little bit worse because statistically and from what I read, day two was a massive turning point for a lot of people. But I did not find that to be true for me. So we decided to take the dogs for a walk, maybe about a mile-ish. We stayed on the property, and by the time we got back to the house, I started getting really tired, and we both took about a 2-hour nap, which was lovely. But when I woke up from that nap, I had some severe back pain and lower abdomen pain. I'm not contributing the back pain to the fast, however. I do need to put that in there that I believe it was from the night before when I ended up having to sleep on the little love seat with my dog Piper, who was not happy being in her crate because she's used to sleeping with us. And I ended up sleeping with her and it was very uncomfortable. So I believe that something tweaked my back. But my lower abdomen was also not doing so well. It wasn't upset, but I did have some nausea, which I thought was interesting. And I couldn't understand why. But again, I leaned in because I kept thinking up to that point, wow, this has been so much easier than I thought. And in a way, I'm being honest here, in the back of my mind, I kind of wanted it to be harder because I wanted to have that sacrifice for God. And I got my wish because that's exactly what happened.
He said, here you go.
And it was all good because it made me lean harder into him, lean harder into the word, lean into prayer, lead into the reason why I'm actually doing this fast in the first place again. It was a reminder of that. So this, the second day can be different for everybody. And I just want to point that out. So if you do a fast, it could look completely different for you. But mostly what happens by day 2, and I want to tell you science-wise what happens with your body, that your body has now gone from burning your glycogen stores, and it now switches from glucose to ketones for fuel. So when that happens, you end up moving into fat burning mode, and your body starts producing something called autophagy. And there's another way to pronounce it, but I say autophagy. Autophagy is when you have a cellular cleanup. If you think about your cells, we all have precancerous cells in our body at all times. So when we move into autophagy, your good cells are basically cleaning house to your bad cells. It's amazing. So it's a great cellular cleanup that happens. Your body is literally eating damaged cells and regenerating new ones. It's so wild when this starts to happen. So I think a lot of what I was feeling was this process inside my body. But spiritually, like I said, this is when I started really tuning into God more and having immense gratitude. All I could do was go outside on that beautiful porch and look at the surroundings that he has created. And what I saw minute by minute that night, it was Saturday night, we had this, the sun was setting and this fog was rolling in, and the fog was settling on the mountains, and it was unbelievable to watch the landscape change. It was unreal, minute by minute. And as that was starting to change, I realized that I started to change. The things that I had been wrestling with for months were now starting to make sense. And honestly, it was like the noise finally started to quiet down for me so I could actually tune in and listen to what God was sharing with me. And I thought it was amazing. Did you have any big breakthroughs on day 2?
I'd be lying to you if I told you I had this tremendous breakthrough and all this other stuff. But all I could tell you is that by the end of day 2, I was amazed that I could do it. I was amazed that I had the discipline not to eat food because I love food. And I think we were sitting out on the porch. This might have been day 2, day 3. It's all running together now. But I said, if the only thing I get out of this is that I know my body was able to give up food in honor of the Lord. And she said, well, that's your breakthrough. And I was like, oh, well, there you have it. So that's what it was, right? Because again, it's we're so fortunate to be able to eat 3 meals a day and snack and have it at our fingertips at a Wawa. There are people out there who don't have that. And it really, I don't know, you just really get into a space of gratitude when you experience this. I would have to say that was my breakthrough.
Yeah, definitely. Wait, so would you say that for day 3, or what was day 3 like for you? So we woke up on day 3.
Yeah, so day 3, again, no hunger, no pain. I thought I was going to be experiencing headaches and nothing. And I am so appreciative that I didn't have pain. It was kind of like Kari, where I was like, well, why not, Lord? Why don't I have pain? However, I was appreciative I didn't have pain, right? So I just felt like, okay, your body, my body is built for more. Thank you that I'm healthy. Thank you that I didn't have the pain. Thank you that I have the longevity to do this. But again, in the back of your mind, you're like, so what's coming? It was not anything different than day 1 or 2. However, I just knew I wanted to go. I knew by 9 o'clock, I want to be in the car and I want to be heading home. I want to go home. Because again, I think the no noise, it really started like knowing that we were leaving in a few hours. Well, let's just get it over with and get going. From that perspective of we're always doing, we're always moving, we're always running. Well, 2 days of nothing. And I mean nothing except talking, reading the Bible, listening to worship music, just being in that beautiful place. It's yeah, I could do it. I could do it if that's all I had to do. And it's really comforting to know, I guess, that I would be okay with nothing. Mm-hmm. Right? I had no food, but I had my wife. I had a beautiful space. And even if it was really a shack, like I told Kari when we were sitting out on the porch on day 3, if this is all we ever had, I think I would be okay. Mm-hmm. And that's, to me, was, one of the takeaways in that moment about, okay, I could do this. Mm-hmm. Don't need the noise. Don't need the house. Don't need the cars. Don't need the stuff. Don't need the trips. Don't need any of it. I could be good with this if it came to it. And truly, the meek shall inherit the earth. So what comes and what happens, who knows? So
day 3 for me, I will say, wasn't quite what Rob had experienced. I did wake up with severe pain. It was really quite bad, but we did manage to go outside. We had a beautiful sunrise. And again, there was this crazy fog that we got to witness the landscape minute by minute. It was just incredible to see the birds. Oh my gosh.
The deer.
The
rabbits.
The
squirrels.
It was unbelievable to watch all this. God's creation right in front of us. So the immense gratitude that I had in that moment was off the chart. Mm-hmm. But as we started to see it started to rain, as Rob said, we decided to start packing up and getting our stuff together, which took about an hour, to be honest with you. But we made it. We got it in the car and we drove home. And when we got home, I was very glad to be home. It was sunny and very warm here and quite lovely. But knowing that, okay, I'm back in the house, and the reality of being home was, okay, it's Sunday and we got to go grocery shopping. And we still had to take care of my car situation, which, by the way, shout out to AAA. I really highly recommend you get AAA. They were amazing.
Amazing.
Here in 1 hour.
Amazing.
Changed my battery and everything. It was
good to go.
So I was very pleased with AAA. We're so blessed.
Yes.
I want to share that for me, the end of my fast really revealed to me about how I can trust God no matter what. Doing this fast, trust me, you have to put all your faith into him and what his word says, and the ability to let go and surrender. Those were the biggest takeaways that I had, and I'm so grateful.
And mind you, she was in pain, right?
A lot of pain.
A lot of pain, and dealing with this as life is happening, right? We're back in life, and for her to hang as long as she did, I really am acknowledging that, because I don't think I could have done it. I mean, I made it till 2:30, but in my mind, I have to get prepared to get everything running again, right? Because basically your digestive system starts to wind down and it goes to sleep, and you have to waken it back up again. So I was concerned about being okay for today with work and just my normal life. So I decided to, at 2:30, I'm going to have some bone broth and see how it goes. And fortunately, thank you, Lord, it was good. It was good.
So I want to share some of the physical benefits that we went through and experienced that were good. So we obviously lost weight. We really did. You lost about 7 pounds?
Yeah, so much so that I used the Hume app, the Hume scale, and the wearable. It said that there's no way that this is correct because I do it every day. And it's like, you want to retake your weight. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. And that's how much weight I lost. I was actually surprised.
Was it 8 pounds?
I was 196 to 189 is what I went to.
7 pounds?
Yeah, so about 7 pounds.
Now,
which
obviously,
is crazy.
A lot of that is water weight, but there is
Yeah.
on day 3, you like I said, you go into fat burning mode on day 2, and you are utilizing fat, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
I lost weight as well. I lost 4 pounds, and very happy with that. But more than that, I really think that we both woke up today with massive clarity and energy, and it was so improved. I mean, it was like the dial was turned, and I'm so crystal clear today, more so than I've ever been. So that's been amazing.
I would agree.
Energy is off the chart today. I feel awesome. Like I could run a marathon. Honestly, it's been great. And sleep last night. I don't know about you. It was good for you too.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I slept like a rock. Obviously, I'm back. And I noticed today my skin was looking a little bit better. And also inflammation was down in some areas. So we both felt really good. Now, the science will tell you by day 3 that you are in deep autophagy. And again, that's when your body is cleaning house. We want to do this for ourselves and ourselves. So it is wonderful to be in autophagy. Your body is in full fat burning mode, which is why we did lose weight. And the water weight, yes, but fat burning mode is awesome. Insulin levels are also at a low, which is great. Growth hormone is elevated. Your immune system is resetting itself, which is phenomenal. It's basically a total reboot for your body, which is great. So as we broke our fast, as Rob said, he started with bone broth first. I chose to do fruit. Fruit is a great way to reintroduce food because it's made of water and it's easily digestible. So I had pineapple, which was
Could
amazing.
I tell you that was the best cup of bone broth I've ever had in my life?
And it was the best pineapple I've ever
It was so
had.
good. It was. I cherish that darn bone broth like you would not believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then a couple hours later, we just had a light meal
Yep.
and no carbs. We eliminated carbs. Carbs are too hard on your system the first day, but we did start off very slowly. And I want to share that this is important because you can't go from fasting, even a 3-day fast. If you do longer than 3 days, you absolutely need to baby step your way back. But 3 days, even you want to start slowly because your digestive system needs to ease back in. Otherwise, you will feel really bad. And I don't want that for you. So again, some things like we did, bone broth. I also forgot to add, I had some avocado, just like half an avocado. Light protein is great. Steamed vegetables are vegetables, but please don't eat anything that's heavy or ever processed. You want to stay away from that.
I told Kari I want a pizza.
No. No pizza. That would be the worst thing. Carbs and cheese.
Oh.
Absolutely not. So yeah, you gotta wait. You gotta wait a while. Now.
After the bone broth, I wanted pizza.
But how we felt after, we did feel really satisfied last night.
Yep.
Not stuffed,
No.
but extremely grateful. And like we said already, the food, every bite, we were just like, no, just savoring every single bit of that.
You
So
appreciated it so much more.
yeah.
Your body did too.
Yeah. So again, let me go over the physical side benefits because I think this is great. And it's really based on science. So day 1, your body burns through glycogen, which is stored glucose. You're still running on sugar at that point, which is great. But then you flip over, even better. Glycogen is now depleted and your body is now using ketones, which is the fat in your body for fuel. And when you enter ketosis, that's when fat burning really starts to begin. And guess what? Mental clarity starts to increase, which is what we were seeing both on day 3. We woke up and we were like, wow, we actually feel pretty good outside of my back pain. So day 3, deep autophagy kicks in. Your body is cleaning out damaged cells. You're regenerating new ones. Your immune system resets. Inflammation drops. Growth hormone spikes. Insulin sensitivity improves. And the benefits, weight loss is obvious. Mental clarity, reduced inflammation, improved insulin sensitivity. You get great cellular repair, which is amazing. Helps with all viruses. Immune system gets a reboot. And you get better sleep with increased energy after day 3. So want to point out here an important disclaimer that I am not a doctor. If you are considering a fast, please check with your own physician.
You're not a doctor?
I am not. Not in real life.
Dr. Kari.
Dr.
Paging Dr. Kari. Sorry, that's a joke.
And especially if you're pregnant or nursing or diabetic or have any health conditions, fasting is not for everyone. So please do check with your doctor. So if you're interested in doing it, consider doing it because I got to tell you, we feel amazing. Again, we did not do it for physical reasons, although those were huge benefits.
But
we did it because we wanted to get closer to God. And honestly, I know I'm walking away saying, yes, that absolutely happened. I have so much gratitude. I am still waiting for more downloads to come to me, and that's okay. Some questions that I wanted to have answered were not answered, and that's okay too. This just gives me an opportunity to reflect and go deeper on that with my Lord. And I would say that, fasting stripped away all the noise for me, and a way for me to be able to connect and to not think about food in a way that I would normally think about, always wanted to eat if I was just bored and whatnot. So there was no distractions for me. It was just me and God, the love of my life, and my fur babies. So what I learned was I use food to manage my emotions way too often, and I distract myself with eating. It just happens. I work here in my office, and if I'm bored, I'll go down and eat. So, and I realized also how little I actually sit with God without doing something else. It forced me to be in that surrender role. And I think that's the thing that I really am most excited about. So, would we do it again?
I would think so.
Yeah, I would say, definitely, yes,
Yeah.
I would.
But it would have to be in that same place. I think if, like, truly the dogs were a distraction, they were some work. Love them to death, but I would really wonder, could we exceed 3 days if we didn't have them to take care of as well? So I might want to change that up a little bit. I don't know. But a once a year gig, I think, would be good.
Oh, yeah. I would say at least. I'm thinking
At
twice
least. And we may do something where it's even smaller fasts of, a weekend or, something to that effect. Eat a meal Friday, Saturday, into Sunday, and then Sunday morning have breakfast and whatnot. But there's so much you can do with it. And I feel that my spiritual takeaway was I was giving up something that I really enjoy for God. That's what my takeaway was, because I love food. I love eating. I love all kinds of food.
Who doesn't love food?
Right? I mean,
We love food.
We live in Richmond, Virginia. I mean, it's a small restaurant capital of the world. I mean, great little joints with great little dishes, and man, it's just so good. So I also feel tremendous gratitude for being able to consume these great foods, for being where I'm at in my life, for being married to Kari, to have what we have. And it just really centers you, coupling that to cutting out noise. And I would encourage everyone to try it. A no food, no noise weekend. And if you find yourself so inclined, just check in with the Lord. I'm telling you, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
So here's what I want to say to you. If you've been feeling disconnected from God, if you've been trying to hear from him, but there's been too much noise, and there's noise all around us, consider fasting. You don't have to do 3 days like we did. You can start with 24 hours or even skip one meal and then spend that time in prayer instead. The point is not to punish yourself. I promise you, it's not. The point is to create space. And what fasting does, it humbles you. It reminds you that you're not in control. It quiets the noise all around you, and it creates room for you to hear from God. So this week, consider skipping just one meal and use that time to pray, to journal, to sit with God. So a question for you is, when was the last time that you created space to hear from him? Not just pray at him, but actually listen. And I would like to say a prayer for you now, if you would like to do this with me. Okay? You want to close your eyes. God, I want to hear from you, but my life is so loud. Help me to create space. Help me to quiet the noise. Help me to listen. I want to be close to you, Lord, not just when I need something, but all of the time. Show me what that looks like. Amen.
Amen.
Rob, do you have any final thoughts that you want to share?
I do. Someone that we worked with one time said, we do hard things. This is hard. This makes you better. This makes you stronger. I would strongly suggest it to anyone who is on a spiritual and or health journey. But I got to tell you, in my opinion, they're one and the same. Okay? a spiritual journey and a health journey. God gives us this vessel, this body. We got one shot, right? And if we're so fortunate that we're not, that we have to battle disease, that we have to battle something, and we're healthy, do hard things. Do something that's hard. It only makes you better. It praises God. It shows him that he's important to you in your life. I encourage everyone to give this a shot.
Thank you for that, Rob. That was really beautiful. I agree with all of what you said. And for my final message to you, if you've been stuck in a gray area of your life, I want you to know something, that there is a way out. So let's schedule a time to talk. It's what I do and do best. I'll drop a link in the show notes for you if you'd like to schedule. And remember, no matter what gray area you have going on in your life, there is life beyond the gray. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe and follow the show so you don't miss any future episodes. I'll see you next week.
Bye.